The man had just taken his daughter out of the car, but didn't notice that she was being targeted by a vicious dog. However, the clever dog didn't bark. It slowly crept closer to the girl. The frightened girl kept backing away, until she reached the edge of the platform. Only then did the father hear her faint cries for help. When he turned around, he was immediately filled with panic. Nick quickly told his daughter to stay still, and stepped closer, trying to divert the dog's attention. He quietly picked up a rock, hoping to scare the dog away, but the moment Nick threw the rock, the dog ran off, and the girl was startled, falling off the platform. A few minutes later, Nick, who had regained consciousness, realized he hadn't saved his daughter. Instead, he almost lost his own life in the process. At that moment, his wife rushed over upon hearing the noise. Despite severe headaches, Nick looked at his immobile daughter, and saw his wife crying uncontrollably. Unable to believe what he was seeing, Nick pushed his wife away. He turned his back, not daring to face the scene before him. But suddenly, he heard his daughter's voice. Nick was both surprised and relieved. The couple quickly checked their daughter's body, and discovered it was just a broken arm. Nick immediately picked her up and rushed to the hospital. He sped all the way, and when a car blocked the road, he overtook it in reverse. His wife, sitting in the back, didn't tell him to slow down. Instead, she urged him to go even faster. Nick, holding back his anger, decided to overtake every car ahead of him. But suddenly, a car appeared in the opposite lane, and Nick had no way to retreat. He could only slam on the gas. Fortunately, it was just a close call. Since they were out for a picnic, Nick found a small hospital nearby. He had his wife rest with the child, while he went to register. However, there were too many people that day, and the front desk refused to let him skip the line. With no other choice, Nick returned to the waiting area. But when his wife learned of this, she not only didn't understand him, but also thought he should have used force to solve the problem. For the sake of their unconscious daughter, Nick had no choice but to return to the front desk. However, when communicating with the receptionist, he found the nurses there very strange. They spoke in a monotone, treating customers like they were different types of products. Fortunately, it wasn't long before someone called Nick's name. Strangely, it wasn't a doctor who came to meet them, but the receptionist from before. The questions she asked were also odd, and she even asked for their blood type. She then mentioned that insurance couldn't be used. A series of questions left Nick feeling agitated. Thankfully, the attending physician eventually arrived. He started by checking the child, but strangely, though the girl had broken her arm, the doctor kept examining her eyes.
Most beautiful eyes I've ever seen.
Finally, after the examination, the doctor suggested they perform a brain scan. Before leaving, the staff handed the girl a plush puppy. Soon, the family arrived at the elevator, but the nurse said only one person could accompany them. Since Nick was also injured, he had his wife accompany their daughter. But everything felt strange, because the elevator didn't go up. Instead, it went straight down to the basement level. Nick felt uneasy, but in his exhaustion, he didn't ask many questions. However, when he woke up again, and went to the front desk to inquire about his wife and daughter, he was told that there was no record of his daughter's visit.